Hey everybody, what's going on, and welcome to Guns N' Roses Central. And today we're talking about 5 things you may not know about Izzy Stradlin. So back in 2002, Izzy worked with Velvet Revolver for a short period of time, and one of the songs that actually appeared on his album called Bomb sounds eerily similar to another song on Velvet Revolver's album called Do It For The Kids. I've linked to both songs down below, but you can listen to the guitar riffs and they're pretty similar. And originally Izzy wanted Velvet Revolver to be a quartet with him and Duff sharing vocal duties, and he at one point, according to Slash in his book, wanted to actually just rent out a van and just do a club tour, but Slash and the rest of the guys weren't too sure if Izzy was serious or whether he was joking. Number 2, Izzy's actually had a book written about him called Dust and Bones, The Untold Story of Izzy Stradlin by Jake Brown. So the book came out in 2005, and Izzy's former bassist from the JUJU HOUNDS, Jimmy Ashurst, actually slammed the actual book. He said it's an example of schlock journalism, so he was actually interviewed by the author, and he had this to say: "I was surprised to see all of the negative comments about the book by Jake Brown, Dust and Bones, blah blah. Believe me, had I known how it was to come out in the end, I would have never granted the interview. There's just no way to determine what the guy was going to do at the time. I tried as best as I could to be careful, and the guy promised me that it would be a quality product and would not be any kind of tabloid gossip type of publication. I was concerned about how Izzy would react as well, and tried very hard not to address any personal topics or to put the author in a position to slam him in any way. I was assured many times that this was going to be a book that was going to be inaccurate and informative, and as Izzy would never put anything out there himself, I believed that it would have been a great source of information for true fans around the world. Alas, this appears to be not the case, and it would seem as though it was just another money-making opportunity and another example of schlock journalism. You can be sure I will be more careful and not make the same mistakes in the future, and I'm sorry that this thing was so disappointing to the real fans. It's a shame, really, because it could have been really cool had it been done right." He did say, however, in all fairness, I haven't read the book myself. I'm waiting right now for my copy to arrive. I had to buy my own copy off Amazon, which says a lot about the publisher. Number 3, because Izzy Stradlin is so reclusive, even simple details of his life are sometimes confused. So, according to what most people know, he is born in Lafayette, Indiana, the same hometown where Axl was from. However, in a couple of Guns N' Roses books, including Stephen Davis's Watch You Bleed, the Saga of Guns N' Roses, which is somewhat a reputable bio, claims that Izzy was actually born in Florida in 1962, and this is the same claim that's also made in the book Legends of Rock Guitar by Pete Brown and H.P. Newquist. And in 1989, after Izzy was arrested for urinating in the galley of a passenger plane, he actually bullshitted the FBI agent and told him he was originally from Idaho. Number 4, Alan Niven, who was first Guns N' Roses manager back in the late 80s, early 90s, and then was fired by Axl Rose, and of course he was fired several months before Izzy quit, was actually hired as manager of the JUJU HOUNDS. According to Alan Niven, from a manager's point of view, I believe that Izzy could develop a career that would not be dissimilar from that of a Tom Petty, says Niven, where he'd go out and do short tours for about 6 weeks, not overplay or exhaust, keeping it homely and down home. Izzy himself showed concurrence by ignoring an invitation to open for Bon Jovi. "I'd rather play clubs than open for him," he mumbled dismissively. According to an article by Art Teavana on LA Weekly, public records reveal that Izzy's great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, Captain Godfrey Isbell, it was a North Carolina militiaman who fought in the Revolutionary War. During the war, Captain Isbell allegedly murdered a neighbor named John Chapman for trespassing on his land. A warrant for the captain's arrest was issued in 1783, just as America was gaining independence from Great Britain. Chapman was cutting down a tree on Isbell's property, says Ray Isbell, an amateur historian who's been studying the Isbell family history for 3 decades. He's Izzy's 8th cousin, once removed, and says Chapman may have been cutting down a Christmas tree. Well, that does it for this episode of 5 Things. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the contents of this video. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you love Guns N' Roses as much as I do. And be sure to follow me on social media. The links to my social media accounts are down below. And you guys can also support me on Patreon. The link to my Patreon page is down below as well. Take care.